Hey guys, Duchess Sprays here and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing some Microlink extensions for you guys. So Ywigs sent me 3 bundles of their natural color Yaki straight hair in 22 inches. So they also sent me this hair separator thing, which I think is really cool. I don't know what this is, but it looked like some baby hair edges. I'm not sure. I'm not using that today. And a clip, and of course, again, the 3 bundles of their natural color Yaki straight in 22 inches long. So this is how the hair looks, guys. Super natural for any, like, textured hair once it's blown out. And within that one bundle you get these 4 little quarters or sections. And like, let me let you guys know, like, this is a lot of hair in one bundle, and you guys are gonna see how much hair I ended up using. But this video basically is going to be telling you guys how I was able to cut down on my time um from the first video. So if you haven't watched the first video, I go in way more details of the pros and cons and basically what to do and what not to do when doing this style. So you might want to watch that video after you watch this one. I will put it in the selection at the end. However, like, I was able to cut down on so much time because I just was not as particular. One, the first time I did it was my first time, so obviously it's going to take a lot of time. This time I was just not as particular about certain things as I am in this video, which helped me cut down on my time. So one of those things was taking the perimeter out. Before, I was doing a whole bunch of stuff, and I just knew right away, like, okay, she needs a lot of hair out at the back, she needs a lot of hair out on the side. So I went ahead and just, did my judgment of what I thought was enough hair to leave out. And I went ahead and braided that out the way so it wouldn't get in my way. When you're doing this style, you really have to pay attention to how thin the client's hair is, because you don't want, when they put it up in a ponytail or when it's falling, for those microlinks to be showing. So another way that I was able to cut down time is I knew that I needed to flat iron her roots before putting the microlinks on. So I went ahead and just did the flat ironing in just little sections. Before, I think I went ahead and flat ironed the whole head, and that just took up some time. But for this, I just put it in little sections as I went. I had a flat iron on the entire time of the styling, and I just went in sections as I needed. So here I am putting the first loop through, and it's just not, the parts are not as crisp. I tried to make the parts crisp last time and just was doing way too much that I didn't really need to do. So here I'm using my clamping tool, and this is not a regular clamping tool. This is specifically for this style, and I got that from the beauty supply store. So right now you see me using a comb, and eventually I'm gonna, like, get rid of using the comb, because that is gonna add time as well, continuously reaching for the comb. So what I ended up doing, I know not a lot of people have nails like I do, but my pinky nails always sharpen because I do braid with them. So instead of reaching for the comb, I just went ahead and just use my pinky nail to part in between those. But for the longer parts of the rows, I end up using the comb to part those. But for those little small parts, I just went ahead and just use my pinky nail and just parted it out, throw the micro links on, and I was able to cut off 2 hours of my time doing just that alone. So last time I did this style, it did take me about 5 hours to complete. One, it was my first time. And two, like, I did all the unnecessary things that I explained to you guys. But this time it took me, with styling and everything, just a little bit under 3 hours to complete. And, that's all it took, just from learning from before. And that tool that they sent me, I don't know exactly what it's called, but I got to find out the name. But it was just really, it really came in handy. At first, I thought, like, it was a little difficult to take off. Like, once you have it attached to the hair, it was a little bit hard to pull off. So you have to be careful when you're pulling that off. But however, I asked my client, she said it wasn't ripping her hair, didn't hurt or anything. It just looked like it was, but it wasn't. So here I am, I've reached a comfortable section now, and I'm gonna go in and make the center part and the hair that I'm going to be leaving out for the center part. So again, you want to leave out as much hair as possible. That's why doing this style, I do recommend that your client has a lot of hair or longer hair for this style, because it's just so easy for those microlinks to show through. So you have to make sure you leave out a lot of hair, and I really could have left out even more than this. However, like, this felt like it was going to be enough. And the last time I did this client's hair with the microlink, she ended up saying it was too much hair for her, and she did take some out. So I think I used about like 2 bundles, almost a full 2 bundles in her hair the first time. But however, this time, because she complained about it being too much hair for her, just for her, I don't think it's too much hair for most people. However, for her and her lifestyle, it was. So she ended up taking out some of it. And so for this style for her, I ended up just using 1.25 bundles, and it was so full. It was still full enough. Clearly, for other people, it might not be as full as they would have liked it. However, for her, like, it just worked, because she's gonna throw it in a ponytail. She's gonna throw it in, and just get up and go. And she works, and she has to like put her hair away. So too much hair doesn't work for her. But for most people, I would say 2 bundles is really good. And like I said, the first video that I did, I went into more details about how to get these micro links to last, and how to secure them and make sure they're not too tight. And that's why you see me lifting them. So that is just 1 bundle I've put in. I'm already at the top, so I do have these 2 bundles left, and I'm only going to be using one of the quarters of 1 bundle to finish her hair up. And look how full that is, you guys. Already, it's already super full. It looks nice. And especially if you already have long hair, you really don't need much to just add length to your hair. So yeah, this is a great buy. I love these. They're easy to take down. Once it's time to take them down, you use that tool, and you basically do the opposite, which is opening the clamp and open it up and pull it off, and it's just easy to take out. And I really like this style. I'll be getting this style next, because she has so much hair left over. I'm going to be using that. So thank you, Ywigs, for the extra hair, because I'll be using that in my head, and she's actually going to be the one doing it for me. So hopefully, she can watch these videos and learn, because it will be her first time doing it. And I'm going to trust that this is my sister, so I'm going to trust that she knows what she's doing, and she's going to be putting it in my hair. All right, so once I have it all put in, I went ahead and I straightened the hair around the perimeter. And then I went through and straightened the hair itself. And just while I was straightening it, I went ahead and curled it. And, that's what I'm going to be showing next. So here I am. This is how I also was able to cut down time Normally, I'll do maybe like 2 rows at a time to flat iron and then go back in afterwards and curl. And I just feel like that's just so slow and it takes up so much time and it's unnecessary. So now I was doing like maybe 2, 3 rows at a time, depending on how thick it was. And then I just went straight after and curled it as I went. And this was able to cut down at least 30 minutes of my styling time as well. And for this Yaki straight hair, you really don't need much straightening because it's kind of like a nice blowout on a natural hair. That's the texture that it gives off. So when if I was to do 1 row at a time for straightening it, it would just be unnecessary because you do want it to blend in with your client's hair as much as possible. And I just feel like it already is a little straight or straight enough so that when you do go in with a flat iron, like you get it a little straighter, but it's still going to be a good blend with your client's hair. Now we have to slick the edges back. And this is the final look, you guys. I hope you love it. It could be a lot more fuller. However, like I said, she didn't want too much in her hair, or I would have done it and she would have ended up taking it out. And it's just unnecessary work. So this is the final look. Again, the hair is from Ywigs and they did send me 3 bundles. I only used 1 1/4 for her style. I do recommend getting at least 2 bundles, or 2 bundles would work great for any hair and texture. And thank you guys so much for watching. All the details will be in the description.